Alright.
Alright.
Okay. Well, hi to you too, Jason. Oh my gosh. God. Okay. Yeah. Sorry for the delay tonight. I was just the Elgato was having a little bit of issue getting signal, so I had to finagle with that. Everything is back up and running now. So you guys ready?
Wait, real quick. Do me a favor, Pat. Look, you gained a follow a little after your stream cut on.
It's all Odie. That's not one of the, not one of the, that's a legit one. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking.
Also, making sure I have the costumes on for today, so.
Good. We shall convene.
Alright, let us continue! What? Oh, okay, that's what I have the costumes on. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like, I was just like, I just hit continue, that's all I did!
Do you know how hard it is to hit continue, Patrick?
You wanna know what's even harder? Hitting story mode. Oh. I can't believe it's been 6 months since I last was allowed to work in court. And now here I am, back at the Old Bailey.
Oh yeah, by the way, there was one thing we didn't talk about last stream was every time that Naohodo in DGS will go up against Zeke's, they pointed out it always felt like Zeke's were taking on the trials that Naruhodo himself were taking on, like it was kind of more like on purpose.
Yeah.
This trial in particular definitely feels like, it definitely feels like, these two happen to be in the same trial.
Yeah.
Like Zeke's is a part of this trial because his friend is involved, not because Naruhodo's involved. He didn't know that Naruhodo was going to be his friend's defense until later. He's like, oh, well then.
No.
I'm trying to do this.
Just shuts it down immediately.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Good morning, Professor Frank.
I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. The atmospheric pressure in here is off the charts. I never felt anything like this. It's crushing me.
I feel it every time I'm here. That gravity.
Well, this is that. This is Britain's highest court. But are you telling me it's filled with some kind of device that can actually control air pressure?
I think it's probably all in the mind.
Ah, yes. Well, you won't let me down, will you, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm counting on you in today's trial to save my life. To save the secret of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine from being made public.
Yes, I understand. I know what I have to do. I have to establish that the explosion 2 days ago was nothing more than an unfortunate accident.
Well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, really. Justice will prevail.
Okay. Is this supposed to be Van Zeke's or no wait, I think that's Schultz.
My commiserations, I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
My commiserations, Mr. Naruhodo. You appear to have been lumbered with the most tiresome case here.
Yep. Mr. Schultz, I didn't expect to see you here. Also, where did you get that kimono from? Like, did you import that?
It's simple, Mr. Naruhodo. For the 6 months that you've been gone, I went to Japan.
Wait, what?
I went to Japan, found out where you live, and went through your closet. Yeah, this is your kimono. I didn't realize you went to kimono.
You put your logo on my clothes?
Yes, I did.
the
You
art
weren't
book
gonna wear them anymore.
The art book does confirm he handmade this outfit, so you just put whatever works on.
That was very mean, Bruno. Leaving Lil at home with Harley? It took me at least an hour to wake him.
Is it? Are you? Sherlock Sholmes? Indeed, sir. I am he. Sherlock Sholmes. Oh, I heard all about your exploits, even whilst living in Germany.
Ah yes, Ransom magazine on sale in Germany too.
This was a story was sublime. Your introduction to the adventures of Silver Blaze was wonderful. Ah, yes, a memorable case indeed. It was a mistake, I should have recalled.
No, it was the speckled banner.
Well, thank you for coming. I do appreciate your support.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, my dear fellow, but I'm afraid I can't stay.
I love they even changed the pipe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they do. I just noticed that. Right. Oh.
I have urgent business at Madame Spells.
You mean your waxwork job?
No, the waxwork abduction, of course. Madame has engaged my services.
Ah, so you're trying to get to the bottom of that ransom note, are you?
The week's waste depends on it. As such, a safe return of the waxwork, naturally. As such, I intend to give him my undivided attention.
Oh, well, never mind then, I understand.
Of course, with my skills of observation and reasoning, resolving the matter will be as easy as a proverbial pie. I shall return forthwith. For until I solve the case, I shall have nobody to afford a pie of any description.
Ooh, then you must have absolutely given your full attention, Harley.
Quite, Iris, quite. But life is filled with irony, you know? Whenever I give something my full attention, I have quite an insatiable desire for a pie. One of the universe's intraceable mysteries, you might say. Oh yes, quite, definitely, absolutely, I totally understand.
Is someone a little starstruck?
I wish you the very best of luck, Professor Hairbrain. Oh, why, thank you! Before I depart, Mr. Naruhodo, a word in your ear, if you please.
What's this about?
As you have remarkably little grounding in science, I feel honored to inform you. As compelling as this super high voltage instantaneous kinesis hypothesis may be, a practical implementation, such as was attempted by the professor in the Great Ace Expedition, is quite impossible.
But the professor said the demonstration was a success.
Yes, it would appear that he fervently believed it was.
I read Professor Bunny-Brain's papers about it, Bruno, and I have to say, I'm sure it can't be done. It can barely be done theoretically, let it go practically.
So he's completely barking up the wrong tree? But how could an experiment that had no possibility of succeeding in fact succeed? That's contradictory.
It is that contradiction that will be at the heart of the trial, I've no doubt.
What's that supposed to mean?
Now, I must hurry along. I wish you the best of luck, my dear fellow.
See you later, Harley.
He's gonna be walking the streets with that outfit.
Isn't it still winter time at this point? Or
It's been 6 months, so...
It's been 6 months.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Does it? Ah, no, it doesn't have the thing on there. Damn. Okay.
I don't think. The point is, I don't think it's winter. I don't think it's winter anymore.
Yeah,
It's been
okay.
6 months.
You would have been very cold. But I do like to say again, I feel like a lot of my problems with Sholmes don't apply anymore at this point, because I feel like they dialed back a bit on him, and like, I feel like more of his deductions are on the mark kind of deal, of actually helping Naruhodo out and stuff like that. So just a little observation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it looks like you're on your own, Bruno. But chin up, you can do it.
So, Patrick, what you're telling me is that your own power, observation, and reasoning are shining through?
Maybe. Oh, what about you, Iris?
No, I'm afraid I can't help. I have something I need to do.
I see.
It's going to be a big surprise for you when you find out what it is.
That sounds ominous.
Court is about to begin attempting to make it right to cut your rents.
We're on our way.
Fools, you thought I would be the assistant, but bye.
An experiment that the laws of science can't possibly succeed. A scientist is convinced that it did. That's the riddle you have to unlock here, Ryunosuke. That's the key to this case.
Somebody's gonna be heartbroken.
I mean, it's an interesting dilemma, because back then, science is still pretty new, so...
Yeah.
Also, boom, there goes October.
Oh,
Yeah,
October.
October. Okay. Still would be kind of cold outside.
That's so small. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session in the fall. We are sitting today for the public trial of Professor Albert Harebrained? Is that how you say his name? Yes, Your Honor. Harebrained. Well, anyway, I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. 6 months out of practice. And what's more, I have this fancy new outfit I can show off now in the garden. Look at that.
Yeah.
Ah! That's not how I remember Susanoo. Hold on.
No, that was Thanos as a fat guy working back in time. that was
She had to drop off the Infinity Stone to Ryunosuke.
Yeah, that was the color going, wait, hang on, there's one more person I missed.
Whoops!
I just wanted Susanoo to do the peace sign and then like fade out kind of deal. That's Susano's on today.
You are alone.
It's just my imagination, or does the air feel even more impressive than usual?
I also trying to remember there was a case in Ace Attorney, well, at least in the trilogy, where Phoenix was actually alone on the stand.
Nope. Not a single case where you did have an assistant. Well, actually,
Case
in the
1,
original,
2?
in the original trilogy, I don't think.
well, no, you
I
still
know-
had, Mary, for you in 2-1, technically as an assistant. I guess, actually, 6-1?
Yeah, I know he was actually alone in that one because he was in a
I
different
think that's
country.
the only case in the original series that doesn't have an assistant, I think. Yeah. Huh.
Huh. The more you know.
So, I must say, I recollect the victim of this case all too well.
Well,
Mr. Odar Osmond.
Well, Ace, what I'm saying is, like, you still had Mary, Bride, with you, who kind of was an assistant, basically, for that, so I don't think it fully counts, so, yeah.
I think he meant of the first game, second case.
No, first game, second game, yeah, I guess. Yeah, well, my through paper airplane stored you, so, you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
Mr. Osmond was a well-known financer, who that was merely a fault of his diverse criminal activities.
It was only a month ago that the man appeared in court prosecuted by you, Lord Van Zeeks. And oh, look at that, he's dead! Well, wonder how that happened. but the jury unanimously found him not guilty.
Because every member of the jury had been bribed by the sound of it. The powerful London criminals are prepped to go for extreme lengths to get their freedom.
But 2 days ago, on October 21st, I think he means 21st October. I know what I said. Mr. Osmond met his end. The work of the Reaper, was it?
I can neither confirm nor deny. If that is how your lordship would like to describe divine retribution. But the fact remains that Mr. Osmond's death was a direct result of the actions of the accused, Professor Hairbrain.
Very well then. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people.
Are you really random this time, though?
Are the 6 of you ready to fulfill your social duties?
I'm most,
Go on, you got it.
I'm most riveted that I've been selected to carry out the important civic duty, my lord.
To have a man's faith in the palms of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly. It sends shivers down my spine.
Science experiments, magic, conjuring tricks, courtroom trials are nothing more than performances. Any spurious scholar that defiles the reputation of science deserves to hang.
Are we listening to what I said both sides in the fancy area? Is it one? That's it, it?
How much corn does she have down there?
Oh, she got it from Edie's corn farm.
He's apparently in a corn farm.
Wasn't like that day. Wasn't like that at all.
That's the police killer Autumnal looked alike again. She's exhausted as ever, it seems.
Now, as I'm sure you are all aware, the incident we are here to judge today tragically took place at the Great Exhibition shortly after its opening.
Though the death toll could have been far worse, with the exception of the victim, no one was killed. Nevertheless, the dream of the science of being exhibited rapidly turned into a nightmare for the spectators. Fuck.
Using spicy words today. A tragic turn of events, and as such, the eyes of all London, no, of the whole world will be on this trial. So, don't mess up. It is our duty to reach the switch of that. No, yeah, you know, you're right. That's that's the line. Don't mess up. So, your opening statements, please, Lord Van Zeeks.
Alrighty. At the heart of this incident is technology never before demonstrated anywhere in the world.
What of science's latest developments, I take it? The government is keen to capitalize on the Great Expedition to improve British technological advantage.
The technology being demonstrated by the accused was described as super high voltage instantaneous kinesis.
Good lord, that's a lot of words!
It's designed to disassemble human subjects using extremely high voltage electricity and beam them instantly to another location where they are subsequently reassembled.
Is such a thing even within the realms of possibility?
Well, I don't believe it, that's for sure.
Disassemble people with electricity? My goodness, how shocking! Like that low battery right now.
Why is it low? Okay.
Mr. Navahodo, your battery is low.
Hold on, I'm gonna get a cable for I'll be right back. God.
I can't.
You'll stand with my sock face. Ha!
I can't believe that the feds forgot to charge the controller overnight. It appears that my Nepalese friend over here still has much to learn. even after being here for, 6 months? I have to agree with the prosecution on this front. The defense, you need to get your act together. Where'd he go to get the cable that he should have had with him to begin with? So, how was everybody enjoying the Great Exhibition? I haven't been able to experience it. I don't care about it. No, Vanzik, don't be like that. No, you have to care. After all, the future at work. Will the future fix my problems? Well,
Hopefully.
Will they fix the issues that I've been dealing with my whole life since I became a prosecutor?
Do you want to wash dishes? They're dishwashers. That could improve your ability. Yeah, think about it.
Damn.
If my dishes can be washed by hand, I don't need a machine to do that.
Okay, you move it up.
Boomer confirmed. The whole idea is absurd. The hypothesis would never stand up to scrutiny. Oh wow, these words are similar.
Yeah.
Sir, I believe. Wait, hang on, I gotta get back to it. Mr. Justice! There we go.
Yeah.
Sir, I believe you are a fellow of the Royal Society, are you not? An expert in your field? I am!
Don't kill your voice tonight, please. Oh boy.
I am. And my word on the matter can be considered final. Instantaneous kinesis is impossible.
So, this experiment and Mr. Shulms are in agreement. It's impossible.
What is the prosecution's view on the matter?
I'm still thinking about that dishwasher. Hold on, what we were talking about. Ah, yes. I'm reconsidering right now. Sorry. The prosecution would assert that the accused instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a success. What?
You want me? Order!
The prosecution's hypothesis is currently under investigation by the British government. If it is deemed to have merit, a substantial research grant would be made available. Oh, excuse me. I got hiccups right now. No! The accused has made the invention built on a new hypothesis to take Osmond's life in order to be the sole benefactor of the grant. But no, now it's transferred over.
Baroque, are you okay?
Did you come drunk in your own trial?
Shut
I seem to have
up. This disastrous demonstration was no accident. It was carefully designed from the outset to end the life of the victim.
Yeah, so the one person in this whole situation that shouldn't believe it actually believes it.
It's like a reverse of the DLC case of Spirit of Justice, now that I think about it.
Time travel works! No, it doesn't. Yes, it does! No, it doesn't.
I still keep thinking when you played through that case and you were just like, I legitimately don't know if they're serious about the time travel or not, kind of deal.
I didn't!
I can't blame you considering this series and the shit that's happened in it. I can't blame you on that one.
We defended a fucking whale.
Like, it's Spirit of Justice. I defended a whale. Listen, and also Spirit of Justice. What we're doing is Spirit of Justice. We go through all that, and now you're trying to tell me that time travel is time travel's not possible? You know what? No, I'll prove it. Prove it to me that you think that it's not possible. After everything that I've seen in this series.
All right.
Thank you, Lord Van Zeest. The prosecutor's stance is weirdly clear. But you will now bring forth witnesses to substantiate your claim.
Gladly, my lord. Whoa! Bailiff, show the foot witness to the stand.
Double dose me.
Witness, state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, what are you buying?
I love that's your go-to line every time.
What are you buying?
What are you buying?
Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. I was on duty at the demonstration on the day in question and in charge of the following the investigation. Albert Harebrain, scientist.
You were born in England, but have been carrying out research in Germany in recent years, correct?
That is correct.
Ah.
Yes, that's right. I graduated from university here in Britain. I went to work in Germany. I made an amusing discovery. Also put up other accent, apparently. Which is what brought me back. I had to demonstrate my incredible hypothesis of the Great Ace Attorney. What you demonstrated was incredible, alright? An incredible explosion.
GG's got him.
Got him. Ooh, no, with that pose.
Got him.
Got him, my lady. but the science was a success. The instantaneous kinesis worked. And everyone saw it. They must have done. Yes, there was a terrible accident, but the demonstration of my hypothesis was a success. Well, that much is undeniable. I showed it this photograph taken by the forensic investigation team. This was taken inside the Crystal Tower. Oh God, the Crystal Tower.
Oh.
I don't say that name brings us an awful taste in my mouth. Well, anyway, the centerpiece of the exhibition, no less. That's right, my lord. Seems the victim rammed straight into it.
Oh, Neptune.
I see. Very well. Submit the photograph as evidence. As the court's heard, the victim of the incident was Mr. Adi Asman. There had been a number of allegations made against the man, but putting them aside for the time being. He was the man who financed the research for the experiment and the demonstration itself. I see. So to summarize the situation, the defendant is accused of taking the life of the man who funded his work. Would that be correct? Exactly.
But couldn't it be that the explosion was caused by some malfunction in the apparatus used for the demonstration?
Those are a bunch of big words you just used. How do you
You're
know
the
them?
scientist!
Yes, that's right. I know them, but not you. That's right. That must be it. My splendid machine. My poor, splendid machine. You saw yesterday, didn't you? We can't even examine the records thanks to the Special Disposition for Scientific Equipment Act. What? The wreckage? The wreckage?
And there we go.
Would that be the case, how can the facts be established? How can it possibly be determined whether this was an accident or a deliberate and malicious act?
Extremely simply, my lord.
I beg your pardon?
Isn't that right, witness?
What? Sorry, me?
No, your neighbor.
Yes, sir. It was murder, plain and simple. Anyone could state that with complete certainty.
What? How can he possibly think that?
Thank you, Inspector. I think we had better proceed to formal testimony. You will explain to the court on what grounds you claim this experiment to have been a front for murder.
Alrighty.
The corpse of it crashing through the crystal tower had a broken neck. Oh, I'm sorry for that guy. I made a minor miscalculation in the angle of the beam projection. That's all. That was my mistake. But the post-mortem examination revealed another injury, a fatal wound. There was a lesion in his chest where he'd clearly been stabbed by something sharp right in the heart. So the victim was killed before he went anywhere, and this fella's the only one who could have done it.
Doubt.
An extraordinary business. In addition to suffering a broken neck, the victim was stabbed in the heart? And who's to blame?
Information I would really like to have heard of from someone other than the judge.
The coroner says death would have been all but instant from a wound like that.
You could say, in fact, that the victim was killed twice by the accused.
No, and no! That couldn't be further from the truth! I have here the experiment plan document that was submitted to the security team. The victim stood himself inside something called the bird cage, ready to be beamed instantly.
Pew!
Pew! To the second level of the crystal tower, about 25 yards away. Man, if only we had that in Final Fantasy.
God, fucking wish. The experiment did not go according to plan, however. As the machine was put into operation, there was a large explosion. And the blast caused the beam transmitter to point higher than intended.
Sweet, we get to skip straight to the boss!
You got to go to tier 3 of the Crystal Tower already, my god. According to the kinesis resulted in the birdcage misaligning in midair. From where subsequently crashing through the glass of the Crystal Tower's large round window.
Oh dear.
My word! What assumes the victim's neck was broken upon impact with the tower then? I'm so sorry! I didn't mean for this to happen! The machine was just too powerful! But honestly, really, I swear, it was just an accident! A terrible accident!
Unfortunately, that excuse can't save you.
No, not considering the sharp murder weapon that pierced the victim's heart. Murder weapon? What are you saying?
This is the autopsy report submitted by the coroner. The prosecution would like to enter it into the court record.
Your request is granted, counsel. I see. You had found my secret weapon.
First, I want to just take a look at that. Time of death, 2 p.m.
Wait, what did I say?
Hemorrhage
Hemorrhage of a wound to the chest that pierced the heart, inflicted by a sharp
broken vertebrae resulting from the impact of the sunfall. Height. Okay.
That was the wrong voice. I was there. I was kids. I got lollipop. I got lollipops in my jaws.
Keep that voice because it's different enough for the judge.
I was there in person, you know. I saw the whole ludicrous performance. and the only other person on stage was Mr. Asmund with the disgraceful script for assault.
Well then, by all accounts, this must have been him.
Hard to think otherwise, really.
Very well. Counsel for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord! I needed to focus here. Blech! It's been a while.
Alright, if that's the voice you want for that guy, I'm glad he doesn't talk that much.
Also, I just noticed the mouse on his shoulder. Oh. Alright, the corpse had been crashed over the crystal tower, had a broken neck. In my miscalculation, the bee projection of the corpse was a mistake. First moment revealed another fatal wound.
So I guess, what do we have to prove here?
Okay, there's... okay. So, it could be something with the fall. Crash through a broken neck. Let me ask about this one, because we need to figure out either the stab or the fall gun deal first. Are you suggesting that's because he fell from a considerable height?
Exactly. Which highlights something else about this whole rum business.
What's that? The fact that the instantaneous kinesis itself was a success. Huh?
After the explosion, the cage with the fellow inside suddenly appeared out of nowhere in midair. So although the experiment ended in disaster, the so-called instantaneous kinesis did actually occur.
Remind us, Professor. What was the cause of the fatal disaster?
Hold it!
So the angle of the projection is critical, is it? And you calculated yourself personally?
Absolutely! The calculation is far too complicated for anyone else but me to carry out. Only, you got it wrong, didn't you? Yes, that's right! That's the point! The calculation is too complicated, even I can make a mistake!
Do people fall for that brazen confidence? I should try it.
I took into account the subject's height and weight, the wind direction, the ambient temperature. I considered every possible variable, so I just don't understand how this could have happened.
Obviously, then, you included the weight of the clothes Mr. Asman was wearing at the time, I assume?
Crackling comments! The answer should have been 3!
So much for safety first. There must be a safety third.
Hold it!
Another fatal injury, you say? That doesn't make any sense!
Why?
That's a lie. You tell me, bud. Come on.
Wait, why? Tell me. Tell me, I'm listening.
Tell me, come on.
Come on. I'm not telling you anything until you tell me.
You're right.
Alright, but for real, bring out the history. Alright. That doesn't make any sense. I didn't think I had to spell this out, but here we go. Just because there were 2 fatal wounds doesn't mean I'm saying the victim had 2 lives to lose, does it? Obviously, at first, we thought the bloke had died during his spine snapping in half as well.
But you're saying that's not the case?
You'll get your answer once I finish my fish and chips, if you don't keep butting in every few seconds.
But we all know that's a bottomless bag. The victim plummeted 30 feet into the glass tower. It would be reasonable to assume that is the cause of death.
Right. That's what we all thought, but it was a red herring, wasn't it?
Actually, let me check that autopsy again. Okay, yeah, just making sure that the actual cause of death is the stab.
Hold it!
Then the defense knew nothing of this critical information! The prosecution received this report from the forensic investigation team only this morning. That was the first we knew of it as well. I can only apologize for the impossibility of informing the defense. Sarcastic and insincere. Thanks. So,
Update autopsy report.
Goddamn update autopsy report all the fucking time. So what was the nature of this sharp object? Among the accused tools that used in the demonstration, one is of particular interest. This.
Ah, yes! That would appear to be some kind of screwdriver. There he is! My trusty little companion, Andrew!
Andrew? Of course.
Do you know each other already? You should have my dear friends. Let go of my tools. I need them all, you know. But what a big happy family.
Uh-huh.
Touch some grass, why don't you? Andrew is my flathead screwdriver, of course. His brother, Michael, is a crosshead. Oh my, do you need help? Like, I have a therapist. I can just. Well, it would appear that your beloved Andrew has a red stain on his shake. He has a red stain on his shake.
That isn't. It's blood beyond all reasonable doubt. No!
That's not all. Get your hand out of my face. You're really close. That long sharp shape of this Andrew fellow is completely consistent with the victim's wound. Seriously, get out of my face. What? Order! The court will enter this friend of the defendant as evidence. If someone seriously make him touch some grass.
So one of Professor Handbraid's tools is the murder weapon. Great. Alright, let's inspect that shit. I've seen this unusually shaped handle before. It's the same screwdriver that was lodged into the grill at the floor of the kinesis machine. Which could be important information, so I should definitely make note of it. Oh, I think I already know. Right there. This is blood. Mr. Arson's no doubt. This is a problem looking at the murder weapons. So, could potentially be that, like, why is the screwdriver there if the body was all the way over there? That could be...
Yeah.
Hold it!
What grounds do you have for saying that?
Ha! Do you really need to ask? There were only two people on that public experimentation stage in front of the whole crowd.
The victim, Mr. Adi Osman, and the accused, Professor Hairbrain. And we know for certain that before the experiment, the victim was alive.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, I forgot the voice already. It was such a spur of the moment voice.
That's right.
That's right. I saw him with my own eyes. I saw him. He was right there.
Yeah, you know what? Remember it like you're doing a weird Yoda impression kind of deal. I think it's like a way to remember it by. Furthermore, following the explosion and kinesis, nobody went anywhere near the body.
Get this man, you must.
Oh.
In other words, only someone else on stage, the victim, could have possibly have done it.
Professor Hairbrain, do you have some information that would be relevant here? Professor!
Sorry. I was just calculating the opium coefficient of electrolysis to separate molecules in the human body.
And the witness stand is the best place for that? It seems as though you might have something to say about Inspector Gregson's last remark.
Yes, that's right, of course. He just said that nobody else could have. He just said that nobody else could have done it, didn't he? Yeah, that's right. Who else could have stabbed the victim, eh? I don't know, but there's no way that I could possibly have stabbed Mr. Aspen, as you say. Eh?
Explain, please, Professor!
Of course, this cold-hearted policeman may not be aware, I suppose. But humans are warm-blooded mammals with blood running constantly through their veins. Look at that face. Look at this man. What a clown. A whole circus he is. I had heard. Then surely, you see, if I had pushed something the size of Andrew into the man's chest, the whole stage would have been a bloodbath. No, a blood-swimming pool. But thousands of Londoners were watching me at the time, and yet none of them claims I've seen a swimming pool of blood. I suppose not. You see, not one. True. I didn't see anything like that. See nothing like that. I did.
Well done, Professor. That was a great counter-argument.
Order! Order! That is a good point.
Pray forgive the discourtesy that if I save a drop from my hallowed chalice to accompany my old friend's accusation. Here's to you, Albert.
Oh, you're too kind, Baroque. But I'm really not. I'm really not a patch on you.
No, you're not.
No?
You've neglected to mention one crucial possibility.
I have?
A particular situation in which a very little bleeding would result from a stab wound.
Ah, of course.
Inspector, enlighten the court, please.
Yes, sir.
Where are they going with this?
Very well. You will amend your formal testimony now, Inspector Gregson. And that would be
Weapon of the victim.
the weapon.
Yeah.
The weapon the victim was stabbed with. The weapon the victim was stabbed with must have been left in his body. Wow, you already knew the answer.
Yeah, we know it. Alright, we're gonna move on. So you say that the weapon remains in the body, there being a little bleeding, is a very even what the fuck is that word?
Look, there was no blood at the experimentation stage, even though that's where the fellow was stabbed. The only explanation for that is if the screwdriver was still in his body, stopping any heavy bleeding.
It's common medical knowledge, my learned friend, even on your side of the world. Yes, but about this screwdriver. The thing is, we actually saw it at the scene ourselves on the experimentation stage. What? It was on the floor of the wreckage of the machine, poking through the metal grill. I picked it up, but the detective here stopped me. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson?
Well, now you come to mention it, yes.
Inspector, are we to understand that you permitted the defense counsel to investigate? That you infiltrate the special disposition of the Scientific Equipment Act?
No, not at all! I wouldn't do that! I just let them look! Nothing more! I was very clear he wasn't to touch a thing!
You can trust me, I leaked government secrets before, it's fine! Yes, that's true.
To be fair in that aspect, he was forced to do it.
The screwdriver was in plain sight on the stage. But it shouldn't have been, should it?
But what are you getting at?
If this tool had been in the victim's body when the victim was beamed to the other side with the machine, then it shouldn't have still been on the stage.
Ah!
That's right, it should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower along with Mr. Osmond! And be found still lodged in the victim's chest!
Ba-ba.
What? Order! Order! How do you explain this, Inspector? I don't...
It looks as though everything that the victim had on his person moved with him when he was beamed. If the screwdriver was still in his chest and the instantaneous kinesis occurred, obviously, it should have been beamed to the destination as well!
You...
Is this a strange situation? Even though people are saying that this instantaneous kinesis is scientifically impossible, we're still basing arguments on the assumption that it actually did take place. Alright, time to tighten the screws here. My lord! If the prosecution is unable to explain this inconsistency in its argument, we can only conclude that the testimony given in support cannot be relied upon. Orphan seeks stumped. What the fuck was that?
Hold it! Do you have something to say, witness?
Yes, I knew it. It bears out. The equation holds.
Mr. Naruhodo, don't worry!
About what?
Without delving into the detail, there is no inconsistency.
What?
Even if Andrew had been lodged in Mr. Esper's chest, my trustee tool wouldn't have moved. Andrew remaining on the stage is consistent with my calculations.
What?
You fool. Back shimmy.
Now you hold this L. It would appear that your illusions have been shattered. Like that bottle. Yeah. Come on, work with me, please. No one? Fuck. Or should I say, this brilliant scientist's explanation.
Get better jokes!
I'll get more wine puddles, how about that? Still nothing, fuck! Everyone's a critic.
No, we just don't think you're funny!
You want the boot, don't you?
But if it makes you funny, then I guess.
Yeet.
Just when I found an inconsistency in the prosecution's argument. Scientists.
Very well. The defendant will testify again. Provide us with a scientific explanation as to why the inconsistency asserted by the defense fails to hold. In the name of Apollo.
Apollo?
Ugh. Ew.
Ugh.
Hang on, let me fix that. In the name of Phoenix, I win, my lord.
I mean.
Why you mean?
To be clear, I'm still at the stage of gathering data in my research. My hypothesis states that the kineticist cannot transport metal, though. Hence the metal weapon would have stayed put. In other words, the point just made from Mr. Naruhodo isn't an inconsistency at all. Mr. Aswin was the patron of my research. Without him, my work wouldn't have been possible. Now I have a duty to protect the incredible machine that we built together.
I hate everything right now. God fucking God. Fuck!
So,
The thrust of your testimony, Professor, is...
That based on his hypothesis, metal objects cannot be moved via his method of instantaneous kinesis.
In other words,
Since a screwdriver is made of metal, even if it remained lodged within the victim's chest, its subsequent discovery on this stage, despite the victim being found elsewhere, is not an inconsistency.
and therefore...
And therefore, Professor Albert Hambre could still have been the killer.
My great hypothesis holds, you see! We had to make the case use to contain the subject for that reason. I was not addressing you, witness!
Professor Hairbrain.
Yes?
Whose side are you on here?
I don't take sides, Mr. Naohodo. No. My only interest lies in upholding my hypothesis. I'm a scientist, after all.
I hate it. I hate everything right here. Is he working for us or against us? It's really hard to tell.
Yes and no.
Let's see how you'll cross-examination this testimony, my Nipponese friend.
Yes, fire away, Mr. Naohodo.
I hate it so much.
He's just taking it back. He's just like, oh, he's just doing the work for me right now. Alright, I'll just shut up.
Alright, I can enjoy my wine in peace right now. Alright, so first thing I want to check immediately. Okay, can I get away with saying that there's metal on his glasses and stuff like that? So that wouldn't have been... Let's see if that will, like, immediately...
Let's see.
I wanna see that. I wanna see if I can big brain the shit out of this.
Objection!
Yep!
Nice!
Yep, you figure it out immediately.
Got him!
See, that I feel like too many times in DGS1 you've had to keep pressing stuff like that, so I kind of miss moments like that where if you figured it out immediately, you could just press it right away, kind of deal. Which,
Nice.
damn, it feels good when you do that. Professor Hairbrain, you say according to your hypothesis.
Hey, hang on. Can we also just appreciate, like, let's see you test cross-examination way out.
What the fuck?
His friend. He's gonna go, oh, they're figuring it out.
Got it.
Wait a minute. Hang
Wait,
on.
what? I didn't even finish pouring my wine. What the fuck?
Wait.
Oh, I have to throw this one too.
Wait, you usually take longer with these.
Nothing made of metal can be beamed by instantaneous kinesis using the machine you made. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Spot on. Exactly correct.
In that case, I'd like you to have a look at this photograph that was taken at the scene.
Photograph with that big brain.
In particular, I'd like you to pay attention to the victim's face.
Cheeky man.
You can clearly see Aspen was wearing a pair of spectacles with a metal rim.
I don't like to have to take it with me. What? Metal? No! Metal? No!
We've already established that the proposed murder weapon, the screwdriver, was found on the stage.
Look at that smug mouse.
However, if your hypothesis correctly predicted that outcome, it should have also predicted that the metal-rimmed spectacles would have been found in the same place.
My hypothesis!
Professor Hairbrain, this isn't easy for me to say, but your hypothesis is clearly flawed.
Order! Counsel, what is the implication of this?
If, on the day in question, the alleged instantaneous kinesis never actually took place, then it's entirely possible the victim was killed somewhere else other than the stage. And in that case, Someone else other than the defendant could have been the culprit.
But my hypothesis is sound. I proved it that day. The experiment was a success. The experiment was proof of all of my work.
Why does this guy have to keep speaking?
I don't know. I don't know why he has to keep speaking. A fool you look like. If I could say something here, in my capacity as a fellow of the Royal Society. Oh yeah, that's also me.
You have a lot of voices this trial.
Yeah. Forgive me. Yes, Jordan. Yes, Yoda. Go ahead. A man of science, I am. There's one thing I simply cannot abide. That is a fraud who pretends to be a fellow man of science. What? Wait, Great Scott! Are you suggesting my science is suspect?
Great. You shouldn't be able to reference that yet at this point. That it doesn't exist yet.
It's just been disapproved, hasn't it? In front of all of us. In other words, the whole demonstration was a complete nonsense from start to finish. Believe me, my fellow jurors, we're not taking that this man is a heel, a bounder, and a fraud.
I say the wreckage of that machine should be stripped down and thoroughly examined.
No, never! The machine is the essence of my entire hypothesis! It's protected by the special disposition for scientific equipment act!
What the devil is being blasted about here? Who made up such a draft rule?
I don't like the way this seems to be going. What's the best way for me to help out the professor?
Objection!
Professor Hairbrain has yet to perfect his invention. That would make sense. That would seem to be the case, yes. But even so what? Going to such trouble and expense to create a fake machine in order to display to the public, he would absolutely have no reason to do such a thing. Objection. He had an obvious reason to do exactly that. For the research grant money.
If the government was foolish enough to have deemed the man's ridiculous notion plausible, he and his conspirators would have received a handsome sum indeed they would.
I don't think I've ever been more excited for when we have to cross-examine the jurors than this case right now.
Conspirators?
What would have been the value of such a grant? £10?
Man, so that was a lot of acting you just did, but take a drink of your water.
Your order of magnitude out, madam. £500 pounds a year.
This is like the opposite of the jail case for Sophie right now, because you've only had like Irish lines to this one juror once in a while, and that's it. Like nothing else.
Ooh, I can have some handsome adventure, yeah!
The society's noticed an increase in bogus public demonstrations in the field of science recently. And plenty of scientists are arguing with each other to get the largest slice of the funding cake. People's greed is plenty motive enough for murder, I assure you.
Yeah, is Jordan 5 a kid? I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't
Did
know.
they just have a baby face? Like, is that what's going on?
No, they are adults, I swear!
She's
Oh my.
She's at very least a really country bumpkin, which I don't know why she's doing in the city.
Because she wanted to see the exhibit, duh.
Go
On
for
trial
vacation
duty-
and then you're brought onto a juror.
Damn.
I mean, you have to remember, the way that jurors are brought in this game, it really sounds like they just take people pick people from
I mean,
off
they
the
had the
street.
one, like, Russian dude that was on the run become a juror in the last game, so...
So it is entirely possible that this girl, who is from the country, was here to see the Great Exhibition and was randomly picked while she was visiting here. That is 100% possible.
Sucks to
in,
suck.
in this case. Yeah. No! I haven't deceived anyone! Leave stuff on the government! My hypothesis is sound! The science is sound! Please, you must believe me!
No matter how unbelievable this hypothesis may seem, you ladies and gentlemen, the fact remains simple that the victim was transported instantly to the Crystal Tower. Which means that the experiment was a success.
Broke!
What was that pronunciation of my name anyway? Therefore, the only person who possibly committed this murder is the accused.
Broke.
Where is this heading? I have no idea. My lord, if I may.
Sorry, Lord Mansley. You have to forgive me. This trial is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You have to forgive me. There's so much going on. Yes, Lord Van Zeeks.
The prosecution would like to summon a new witness to the stand.
New witnesses. What would be what would be the nature of their involvement?
They were spectators of the great demonstration at the exhibit who were occupying special seats. Eyewitnesses?
Very well. The court grants the prosecution request. I shall very much like to hear from eyewitnesses to the incident.
The prosecution's stance is clear. The experiments were no post-T, whatever that word is. The accused killed the finance victim there on the public stage before the very eyes of the spectators. Now, my learned friend. Yes? It's time for you to make your own stance clear. There's clearly a flaw in the prosecution's hypothesis. I can definitely see that. Where does that leave me?
We shall take a short recess now, during which time the prosecution will prepare its new witnesses to take the stand.
As you wish, my lord.
Good. In that case, court is adjourned for 20 minutes.
Hopefully not
Now
actually.
somebody get the clown. We got a whole circus going on up in this court. I'm going to use the bathroom.
Yeah, go on ahead. And that was only an hour, so we're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a kind of short break for a to be continued to show up on that one. Mr. Naruhodo? What on earth are you playing at just now? Or rather... What on earth are you playing at all? My hypothesis, my amazing hypothesis! You're picking holes in it from the start! Sorry about that. But you promised me! You said that you proved that Treadle explosion was an accident, not murder! You said you keep my president...
The person that thank you for falling into anyone else's hand!
Oh my god, that was the best bathroom break. Oh my god.
So I have mastered the art of peeing.
Game over.
That was...
I have 28 years of experience.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
I only realized what I said.
Over.
I only realized what I said immediately after I said it.
That got 2 game over screens from me on that one.
My God.
That's a new one. Wow. Yes, I did make you a promise, didn't I? I said I believe in you and fight for your freedom to the very end. But I also told you I was no scientist. I don't understand your hypothesis. The fact is, there's no undeniable flaw in your logic, isn't there?
But if I just run through some equations, yes, you see, it becomes our work is incomplete.
Perhaps it is. Nevertheless, a man died in it as a consequence, didn't he?
Oh, oh no! You're right. You're so right. It's all my fault. And I have no right to blame you for my failures. I'm a disaster. Not just a scientist, but as a human being.
Well, that might be a little over the top.
And while we're on the subject, what about Brock? He'd be awful. That's you.
Oh, claiming his old university friend to be a murderer, you mean?
He's a disaster, not just as a prosecutor, but as a human being. Oh, but no, wait, he's the Reaper, isn't he? Perhaps he's unclassified. That's Homo sapiens anymore.
Glad he's cleared up. Can I double check something with you?
Yes? What?
The machine and demonstration you prepared, they were based entirely on your hypothesis, I assume. There was no trickery involved.
I drew the plans for the machine with my very own hands. Every line was painstakingly drawn with the firm belief that science is the only future. So yes, it's true that my hypothesis hasn't reached maturity yet, but please, Mr. Naohodo, you must believe in it.
Alright, Professor. I understand.
Cancel! Defendant! The president gives the witness his right to take the server. Court is about to break your right to the place.
It all hinges on that demonstration. If the professor's hypothesis is sound as he claims, it leaves him only one person who could have possibly killed the victim. But on the other hand, Mr. Shones was adamant.
Can't work, scrub. GG's.
That is a very, that is a very V-neck.
So really, what should I be trying to prove here?
Typing.
I was watching a clip. instantly busted into a laugh. Like, oh, I realized what I just said. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby reconvene this circus. Councils of the defense and prosecution, are you ready for the new witnesses?
The prosecution is ready, my lord. As is the defense, my lord.
So, Lord Van Zeeks, I believe these next witnesses saw the demonstration on the day in question with their own eyes?
Indeed, they did. And as luck would have it, one of them is the police detective. So the testimony we can hear is highly reliable. Perfect. The detective of all people. And yep, I know exactly who that is. The prosecution's stance remains unchanged. Though it ended tragically, the demonstration on the day in question was scientifically sound. And consequently, the sole person with the opportunity to have committed this act of murder is the only other individual to be present on the stage at the time, the accused.
Thank you, counsel. The prosecution's position is clear.
So, bring forth your witnesses now.
Bailiff, show the witness in. The witness who approximately to the incident of the day in question will clarify the truth unequivocally. Blah, blah.
Hey, how you doing?
You look very out of place on this one. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the one day here.
Give on this guy. There's one for each of us.
Okay, alright.
My name is Balthazar.
Balthazarloon. There we go.
Oh, dang it! I just got it when you said it.
Balthazar. This is it's a balloon pun, isn't it?
Balloon.
Yeah.
It's my name is Balthazar Loon. I am the impersonator of all the hot air balloons in vicinity of the extremely seminar stage.
We need. Oh no. My name is William Scott Stingman Austin. I've come to the great inspiration all the way from my own land of Bohemia. I'm very rich.
Are you done now? Inspector G in Lestrasse, Scotland Yard. I'm the great detective, Ian Erlock Jones agrees. I was on security gear at the Greyhouse position, and I gotta go up in one of the balloons. It was amazing!
Gina, again. But she did mention she saw disaster in the balloon, actually, didn't she?
I didn't get arrested again, Naruhodo.
Good. She clearly loved every minute of it.
Ah!
There were 3 balloons flying near the public experimentation stage when the incident occurred. 2 of these witnesses were in such balloon at the time and saw the events unfold from the skies above.
You make it sound like they were in the clouds. It was only an altitude of circa 60 feet, very low.
Well, you can't see nothing you fly too high, can ya?
60 feet, about 18 meters then.
Good. Yes, man. Quick math. Good job. Thank you for your introductions. Now, you will give your formal testimony for the court. Kindly describe exactly what you witnessed, especially those of you who had a vantage point above the stage.
Alright, 3-person testimony, here we go.
It was an incident terrible. I am only grateful for that my balloons were not damaged.
It's terrible. Yeah. There's a huge bang on stage, and the next second, another bang in the sky beside us.
Terrible.
And from the smoke cage appeared out of nowhere.
The cage, it fell from the sky like a stone. It crashed into the crystal tower.
I didn't get a good look inside the cage, but no one's near it when it crashed into the tower.
A most extraordinary collective account, I must say.
Could I just clarify something? There's a detail in the witness's testimony I may not heard any mention of until now. Specifically, that there were 2 explosions? More precisely, 2 explosions in 2 separate places, yes. When the demonstration began, the balloon carrying the 2 witnesses was around here. There were the other balloons nearby at the time carrying passengers as well, to be clear. Then, as the power supplied by the machine for the demonstration, the first explosion occurred. The so-called birdcage containing the victim disappeared from the stage, and a moment later, the second explosion occurred directly adjacent to the balloon carrying the witnesses.
Gap, it took 6.
The birdcage appeared from the other side of the explosion, subsequently to plummet down to the crystal tower.
Is he supposed to be intelligent?
I was very surprised. Suddenly a cage appeared in front of my eyes with the person inside. This is very hot. I didn't advance to do a thing and sing, so my eyes very bright.
Here you
Balloon,
go.
thank her. I still have lots of money. Got some GPs.
Peasants. Whose kid is this?
I'm told he's a very young noble from the Bohemian royalty. Apparently, he disguised himself in order to steal unnoticed into the Great Exhibition. I am here from London sightseeing my elementary school. We have the benefit of a child's point of view in this testimony.
Do we really need that?
I think I'll remove my mask. It's not what I look like.
Oh, yes, I see a delightful face, I'm sure.
This is gonna get bad with the Van Zeeks, like I'm doing a Dracula and then a German voice at the same time. God.
Let the boss baby in here!
Everyone says so.
They
Break
look
the
like a
statue.
boss baby?
The point is, the testimony of these witnesses further substantiates the facts for the court. Namely, the despite ending in an explosion, instantaneous kinesis was successfully demonstrated. And furthermore, that until the arrival of the police, no one approached the crystal tower where the victim fell. Therefore, only the accused who was with Mr. Osman on the stage could possibly have committed the murder.
Yes, thank you, counsel. The prosecutor's views on the matter are quite clear. So, to the first cross-examination now, please.
Yes, my lord! Alright.
Can we turn the game audio down a little bit?
Okay. Should have said that about like an hour ago, but. Alright. Not damaged. Actually, I'm a little bit more curious about this one. It might be the balloons might have been too close. There were 3 balloons above the experimentation stage, I understand.
See, all 3 of them, I believe Babini.
Babini, yeah, you're right.
Babini, they are very popular. They're very
You know what?
they're very popular in Signor. Some people will pay £10 for a ride.
£10? That's more than my annual stipend!
£20 a month, that is in my pocket money. Wheels have all the luck.
I got up there for free, I did. I played the old work is your majesty police card, you know?
Detectives have all the luck. If they're so popular, why would they only be operating in such small numbers of balloons, though?
Because if I have too many in the skies, they could crash into each other.
The operators from the balloons were decided by lots, with each operator manning a particular area.
See, in the zone of public experimentation stage is the most profitable. The other impresarios, they hate me. Thank you, witness. I think the court has a clear picture of the arrangements for balloon rides at the exhibition. Perhaps we could hear more about what you actually witnessed of the incident?
Right, I can fill you in there, my lord.
So you actually saw the incident happen from up in the air?
Yep, it ain't amazing what a detective get to do, eh? I'm telling you, Odie, being a lawyer is a huge mug game. You show the force that we can fly them together.
You know me so well. Well, actually, anyway, could you tell us exactly what you saw, do you think?
Everything. I saw everything, because we were up above it all.
It's actually really weird just seeing a straight profile shot of Gina, honestly.
Straight profile shot, Gina just smiling.
Yeah.
I'm a happy girl. That dodgy cover climbing into that cage, and that dodgy for pulling them all them levers. Ain't it when it pairing? That's when a massive, big, and cage disappeared, just like that.
You are describing the moment the subject's body was decomposed by the electricity, I believe.
I didn't know what to make of it. But then there was another bang, right in my ear. I look around, and there's this huge, great fireball right next to us in the sky. It was nothing like there before.
Excuse me.
Baby?
Small child. Master Guts, does your memory of that day differ? Me teacher at me elementary school said that you meet someone for the first time, you should always use their full name. Yes, what was it again? William Scott Sigmund Ortbrin. Just the 4 names then. The point is, do you have something to say? Something in response to Detective Gina Lestrade's last remark, perhaps?
Oi, get it right, Odie. It's Inspector Lestrade.
Why does everyone have a problem with how I address them at this exact moment? That is not what I saw. Oh? Ah, there was a second explosion right outside our balloon. That's true. But I'm sure.
Which is what I said, ain't it? 1 minute ago there was nothing there, and next, a massive explosion.
My teacher at elementary school says it's overness in speaking. If you are rude enough to interrupt, you read the most awful life imaginable! You all behemoths grown up to be so full of joy? Balloon. Ah. Yes. Thank you.
This man is just like, yo. Yo.
Just
Like,
before the second explosion happened next to our balloon, I clearly witnessed a green balloon flying through the sky. A green balloon?
Eh? Yeah, what? I never saw nothing like that.
I did! I saw it! You cannot say I didn't! I will complain to the council! I will cry and scream! Where? 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 My testimony is the truth! I am proof and print! You cannot say it is I! That is not allowed!
Where?
Playing the bleeping royalty card, are ya? Typical.
Says the orphan who likes to remind people she works for Her Majesty's police.
In that case, young man, I must ask you to amend your formal testimony. What is going on here? In the interest of the carnal national relations between Great Britain and Bohemia.
I will do so sad. It's not the sky that exploded, it was the green balloon that was next to us at the time.
Make sure, yeah.
Okay, because I remember the... Oh! Yeah.
Make sure it's inspected.
Yeah. It looks like layers of thick canvas with a thick rubber lining of sorts. I've never seen anything like it before. But applying Mr. Shulman's methods, might be able to deduce part of it was a raincoat worn by someone else really didn't want to get wet. And the charring must have occurred when a person was struck by lightning. Or maybe not.
enough to say no, doesn't know where it came from. He just found it on the scene.
Yeah.
Trust me, yeah.
So probably that, but just gonna save and make sure. Unless I need to like press him on it, but we'll find out.
Objection!
Damn it!
Yeah, I had the same issue too.
Fucking hell! I don't know what kind of accent that was supposed to be on that one.
It's like, it's green! I swear, it's green! Stop it!
It connects!
No, it looks like randomly there was an update for the Sonic fighting game, right? And they added in Ballad himself from Ballad Wonderworld as a playable fighter.
Does he only have one button to attack? Otherwise it's not true. Otherwise it's not accurate.
No, he has more buttons.
Damn it! A green balloon, you say? Are you sure about that? Of course I am sure. I am Brahmahirian Prince. All of these questions make me boring. I think you mean bored. Ugh. English is very annoying. This language of countrymen is far superior.
Ragasso?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ragasso, it's very wrong. It is very wrong to lie.
Lie?
Flying balloons never explode. For the same reason the planets never explode. It is
Illogical.
It is logical.
Please tell me that doesn't mean logical. If you insult me, you insult all of Bohemia.
Madai!
I was at the hunting, come and shoot all you stupid balloons out of the sky! All of them! You want to fucking go? You want to throw hands with this giant?
You want another balloon?
Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah.
Gracias.
That's what I... Here you are, Your Highness.
Gracias, senor. If only all international incidents were so easily resolved. Now on to the peaceful relations.
You called my country! How could you do such a thing? Oh, it's fine, I'm sorry, have a balloon.
That balloon,
Oh,
balloon. Now that all the peaceful relations have been restored here in this courtroom, perhaps we could return to the testimony. Did you also see the moment that the cage materialized, Mr. Loon?
Oh, there it is. I got it. I finally figured it out. No, I did not see the explosion myself. However,
didn't get any new information out of that one.
no. You got one. All its natural conflicts can be solved by giving each other balloons.
Of course, it was important. Did you actually see that happen?
No, in reality, I did not. I saw it after it hit the tower. There was a grand confusion there around the stage. I learned to see what had happened. I was terrorized by the idea that one of my balloons had crashed.
I suppose they are his livelihood.
But when I looked up to the sky, all my precious balloons were still there.
I saw it through and slammed into the ground. After all, I'm a detective now.
Yeah.
Then tell us what you saw, Inspector Lestrade.
That's what I like to hear.
Hold it!
Was it you who gave the order to keep people away?
Use your ears, Odie. Oh, it could have been me. I was up in the balloon, weren't I?
Right.
It's because I wasn't available. It was the boss who had to leg it over there. That's why getting shoved and kicked all over by the panicking spectators and try to seal off the scene. It was a real sight to behold, I can tell ya. Amazing!
Poor Inspector Gregson.
So anyway, I couldn't see the cage very well because of the smoke. I didn't really want to see it, to be honest. It was scaring me wits.
Keep it together, Inspector! The prosecution really is certain that the demonstration was genuine. What if it was actually some kind of switch around trick instead? That would mean the victim was never actually on the stage in the first place. The 2 explosions would have thrown everyone off panicking for sure. I think I need to find out what exactly the people saw at the time. This one's gonna be tough. This explosion has happened. This green balloon was next to us at the time.
So, I have to prove there was some sort of green balloon at the time.
Yeah, but we already inspected this, and nothing else is on it, so it's not that. Would it be this kind of deal? Because there were 3 balloons initially on that.
You want to try?
Nope.
Nope.
Blah, 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 blah.
I am trying to remember this one.
I think it would have to be related to this statement because this is the only one that got added. So.
Yeah.
Did you already try the first thing you thought of? That?
Yeah, we already tried
Yeah.
that.
Objection!
That.
Look at this random ass thing.
Please.
We don't even know what it is.
Oh, wait, could I examine that actually? Yes, I could have. Any new information gets added to it, maybe.
Just look around.
Then. There's some sort of lever here. What the? What is this? It looks like a cross between a crossbow and a gun. I think it's probably used for the same thing too. Maybe that's it at this point?
Objection!
Bang!
Look at this crossbow.
I think it's pretty neat.
Alright,
Fuck. God, this one's hard.
yeah.
There's a huge bang next to us and then the second bang.
Next to us at the time.
Huge bang.
I am going to go on YouTube to check the prompt to figure out the solution real quick.
I mean,
I'm doing that myself right
I
now.
mean, we have an in-game chooser for us, kind of.
I mean, do you want to use it?
I think to at least figure out if it's on that statement, we'll do it real quick.
All right, just for that statement.
Oh, nope. Wait, it's on that one? What? No.
Oh no, it. I think it worked. For story mode, it goes in chronological order. So.
Okay, so.
Oh wait.
Well, okay. So.
Okay, that. The first one.
Okay. I'm grateful that my balloon. Oh!
Objection!
Duh! Because the balloon was damaged! Fuck! God!
That's how they gotcha!
God, they threw me for. So you made me go down this entire line of questioning on this other one. It doesn't even have fucking anything to do with that. God damn it. Fuck!
They gotcha.
God.
They gotcha good.
Mr. Loon, in your testimony, you said that all 3 balloons you had operating at the same time were undamaged.
Sorry, I'm still reeling. God, you guys got pretty good, didn't you? Didn't you? I felt it. I felt you. Go back. I have that power. I'm Mario.
Yeah, we should probably re-examine the crossbow the next time. Just.
Yeah, next time, yeah.
See, that is correct. If they had been caught in the explosionies, or how you say that, it would have been terrible.
I wonder if you might know what this is?
Ah! I think I maybe... See, part of a balloon. A burnt piece of the fabric of the envelope.
Sorry, the envelope?
Pardon. That is a large round part of the balloon which becomes filled with hot air. It is made from very thick fabric lined with rubber. You do not want to it to rip when you're in the air.
Just as I thought. This is a piece of cloth found near the experimentation stage. In other words, as Mr. Gotts testified, a green balloon did indeed explode that day.
Okay. So we have to get the Tid's testimony after all, just not presented on that.
If all the balloons in the sky above the experimentation stage belong to you, Mr. Loon, then your statement that they were all undamaged clearly contradicts the evidence!
No!
I still have my balloon, da. If the balloon exploded that day, why didn't the man say so?
Maybe who was on board was killed!
Look at that magician real quick.
Oh, that makes this a 10 pounds experience offer.
You think those things crash 50% of the time anyway?
This man was literally just tossing out cards.
The instantaneous kinesis did occur, but after the explosion on the stage, the point of the materialization shifted up to the location occupied by the balloon.
Causing the balloon to explode? Yes. Immaterially plausible.
An unfortunate traffic accident, as it were, but it changes nothing about the pre-intent of facts.
Hold it! This, I cannot accept!
Why not, Mr. Loon?
Hey, come on, man, it's me, Luigi. Actually, you know what? I think that actually works better.
Yeah.
You are suggesting that I am a liar. That person's died and the balloon is a dite.
There's no need to get fired up, Mr. Loon. The victim was the sole fatality that day.
That's right, and I prove it. Balthazar Luna is not a liar. There was no such balloon in the sky. It's not possible.
You're saying it's impossible? Why?
This court has more important matters to discuss than the number of balloons that were operating that day.
But we can't ignore the fact that nobody appears to have known anything about this other balloon until now. My lord, the defense calls for further testimony from Mr. Loon.
I concur. There's clearly more to the truth here than meets the eye. It's imperative that we clear up the issue of this phantom balloon, I feel. Witness, you will give supplementary testimony about the balloons you were operating at the exhibition. Grazie, my lord.
I still have my balloon.
Luigi, as I said, Balthazar Loon is no liar. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. All three of my balloons were carrying passengers, and they fell to the ground in an explosion. What a catastrophe!
You can't get away from the fact that a burned up bit of cloth was found at the scene, can ya? The cop at the yard reckoned it was probably some debris flown from the explosion on the stage.
This stupid Razito is mistaken. My balloons have the red and blue zigzag stripes, so anyway. So your assertion is that the balloon this child saw was not one belonging to you? See, exactamente, if he even saw a balloon in the first place. I did not like the sound of it. It is very bad for business. I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia.
If you attack the same will fight back, I will be bro. Oh, that bro. But another balloon, please. Take off. Gracias, senor. What happened?
I wish there was one more line him saying, "All out war."
What happened? What happened to all-out war? Mr. Loon certainly doesn't appear to be lying. That doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here. If the defense is unable to find a fault with the witnesses' testimonies, the court will consider them as truth. Think long and hard about that, my learned friend. The situation has clearly changed now. I have to get to the bottom of what happened here, no matter what it takes!
Counsel, you may now cross-examine the witnesses.
Bye-bye.
I have nothing to do with this, apparently, so just skip right past me.
Alright, let's look.
Hold it!
You couldn't just have forgotten one, maybe.
I want you to consider what you just said. Signor. I might not notice if I was given 100 linties and one was missing, but we are talking about 3 enormous balloons. Do you believe I could make a mistake about something so grande, expensive?
I took the liberty of having Inspector Grayson check out this gentleman's warehouse. I have reports here. It clearly says a total of 3 balloons.
It would appear no mistake has been made then.
Surely Miss Estrada could have been sent such a menial task.
Me? I was told the boss. He said kids like me can only count up to 2. Obviously that ain't true, but the boss brought up said he have to go and pen himself in that case.
Hold it!
It would be quite a catastrophe if they fell to the ground for any reason, I think. On that note, Mr. Loon, tell me, what is it that keeps the balloons in the sky?
Are you an idiota?
Sorry?
That is like asking why does a candle burn bright? It burns bright because it burns bright, and a balloon flies because it flies. What else?
That must be Italian for I don't know.
There are 2 types of flying balloons, hot air balloons and gas balloons. Hot air balloons work on the principle that hot air is less dense than cold air, whereas gas balloons derive from lifted by gas used lighter than air.
See, and my balloons are filled with magic gas, I believe.
Hydrogen, lighter than air but highly explosive.
Good lord! I do not permit smoking on the cigarettes in any of my balloons. The magic gas does not like it.
Even a small spark of static electricity could have caused an entire balloon to explode.
What is the matter with you, Signor? All that comes out of your mouth is explosion-y. I tell you, my balloons are perfectly safe. They have to be, or I cannot eat. None of my balloons explode that day. I am completely sure. But if you still say that is what happened, you show me the proof.
Alright, so Mr. Loon had 3 balloons in the air that day. And none of them were damaged. Then what was the one that exploded?
That's a really good outfit on Naohodo, by the way.
I really like this one, overall. Like, might keep this one on, honestly, for a little while. Though I do think for, like, case 5, we'll like, absolutely go back to the default, because, yeah, kind of deal. I was surprised to find this piece of fabric still at the scene, actually. Did you search the area stage for clues?
Nah, I'm not picking stuff up off the ground, me. I always work out the way better. Diving into people's pockets instead.
So much for the new career path.
Mind you, the boss was in and out of me picking up all kinds of rubber from the floor. Thing is, though, the cage went crashing in the Crystal Tower, didn't it? So that's where most of the investigation is going on.
Even so, I would have thought someone from Scotland Yard would have gathered this up at evidence.
Of course, listen to you. You stumble across a bit of balloon, suddenly you're the best investigator in the world.
Pardon?
Well, you ain't got the badge, have ya? Like this one. I could arrest you with it if you want to.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Come to think of it, there was talk of some scorching the ground and mean about the investigation.
Also, do pose.
Oh yeah.
Hold it!
There was some considerable damage to the stage and surrounding area, wasn't there?
Yeah, some cubs and what watching the experiment were caught in the blast and injured. Good job the Yoga Trash didn't kneel over, eh?
I didn't even consider that. It seems there was a great panic after the incident occurred. Nevertheless, the police released a torn piece of evidence envelope from the balloon. Inspector Grayson can expect the repercussions.
Like swimming hell with fish and chips, eh?
The man's sole pleasure.
Cutting my pay is one thing. Cutting my
But
pay
fish
is one
and chips,
thing.
that can
But
understand.
if you dare touch my fish and chips without so much as buying one.
Alright.
It's me, Mario. None of that matters. The scammer balloon envelope means nothing.
Hold it!
You mean the color is wrong?
See, ignore. I do not have green balloons in my warehouse.
And yet, a piece of green cloth was found at the scene. It's unmistakable from the balloon.
Well, I don't know how that could be.
For the sake of argument, let's say the green balloon did explode above the stage. You couldn't therefore conclude it happened on the day in question.
Why not?
There have been recreational balloons all over Hyde Park operating before the Great Expedition. One has exploded on some earlier date, unfortunate as
You believe it had? You believe it may have been from some earlier balloon accident that predates the exhibit? See, exactamente. As I keep going back into his own voice. See, exactamente. As the singer says, it's not from one of my balloons. Clearly, the ragazzo from Bohemia's mistaken about what he saw.
Excuse me.
What? Right.
Is something wrong, Master Gotts? It's Master William Gotts and Siegfried Oldman. It's on the tip of my tongue. Ah,
Gina's just vibing.
something is very wrong. I know what I saw. There's not a green balloon there. I swear over the Unia.
You can speak as much bad language as you like, but it changes nothing.
Balloon.
See, if you do not have evidence, but I saw it go, then I must tell your parents to punish you, eh?
Perhaps we'll let the judge decide when it comes to punishment. Evidence is all evidence.
To give a simple example, young man, a photograph, for instance, some tangible proof of what you claim.
Well, didn't you say sooner? I have the photograph here.
Good gracious!
What? I had not been balloon for a little while, so I was very excited. Oh my gosh, no! So I took lots of photographs. Hold on. I need this picture. I just love the two of them on the left and right, and they're just looking at the fucking camera.
Holy shit! What are these retweets you're buying?
Oh my goodness! The release date for Freedom Planet 2!
Oh, no. Kids, like somebody take this image and just Photoshop whatever you want onto this camera. What is he holding up? Kind of deal. Could be a PS5, could be a dog, could be the Freedom Planet 2 logo, whatever you want.
Could be your student desk disappearing.
Of the Crystal Tower, of Bohemian Exhibit, of the streets of London, of the Harvey Cellar, of the Bloom.
And the instantaneous kinesis experiment, did you take a picture of that?
One picture.
Really? Did you take one?
But I wanted to ride the balloon, so I was not interested in boring experiments.
Never mind that! Can you show us the photograph?
Of course, and then you will see. You will see that I am not lying. You will see that the green balloon.
To be fair, he took a good picture.
Well, I see you are too shocked to speak.
Yes, I think shocked is indeed the word, young man.
Balloon. That perhaps you cannot see with the green balloon because it's photograph, but that is not my fault. This is the fault of the stupid person who made the camera. Where?
I just remember the LP, one of the LPs I watched, they used a kazoo for his crying.
Bro.
That is one very Bohemian sounding cry.
Where?
Very well, the court will accept this photograph as evidence.
It's not my fault. No fault the person who made the camera.
You were having so too much fun voicing this voice.
Well, never mind. I'm sure you'll be plentiful sepia memories to take home with you. In any case, when exactly did you take the photograph?
Well, it was on the day of the big explosion.
You don't say.
When I pressed the shutter keys, she's a very loud bang.
sorry. Okay.
And those very much stormy face.
That means this photograph was taken a split second before the explosion occurred.
I am Luigi. Well, if you ask me, this black and white photograph teaches nothing. I could not give the flying finger.
Lovely language you picked up.
Okay.
And I know the contradiction. Blah, 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 blah.
Wait, before you go any further, just re-examine the crossbow just so you have that back again.
Yeah, let me do that.
And save. La 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 la.
Ooh, what does this thing do? Holy shit!
Look what I found, guys! Ah!
A knife!
Hands on the ground! Hands on the ground!
Yep, there it is. Actually, I'm now need to save on this one.
Objection!
Wait, what the fuck?
Yo, it's the famous last words. It's the famous last...
What do you mean?
I don't need to say it. Yo, I got this one.
I think it's a different. I think it's a different law testimony because I think yeah.
But the red and blue stripes are kind of okay. The cover is probably hopefully in my balloon carrying passengers. Every balloon I have is here. Can't get away from the fact from the suit, can ya? I was at the yard and there's probably some debris from the closing stage.
I try all my balloons landed safely because this balloon.
Yeah, maybe?
I don't know. I think it might be one of the earlier ones. Yeah.
Objection!
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Unfortunately, the photograph Mr. Gotts took can't tell us the color of the balloon, but it can tell us something else, something crucially important. What? It shows that the pictured balloon wasn't carrying any passengers.
Oh, my goodness, you're right. But surely all the balloons would have been carrying passengers. There would be no sense in it otherwise.
See, they are for pleasure. For see the view. My balloons only fly with passengers.
Which tells us that the picture balloon isn't one of them. So when the incident occurred that day, there was a fourth balloon in the skies above the experimentation stage. The mysterious green balloon.
Dun dun dun.
I know nothing. I can only tell you one thing.
It's nada.
What Sophie said. If this balloon would not carry any passengers, then where's the evidence? Where is it not, Judge Dobie?
Objection!
I do not know Italian, but I know Spanish words.
There are illegal tradesmen everywhere you take care to look. Clearly, such one entrepreneur decides to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the Grand Exhibition. They managed to operate balloon flights on Mr. Loon's patch without him realizing.
See, the
La competencia.
the competition tried to steal my profits. I did not notice because of the experimental the what's wrong on the stage on this stage.
This fourth balloon exploded at the very moment Mr. Osmond was beamed from the stage below.
Right, so them scrapped the fell on the ground after and left with scorch marks. It didn't come from the stage at all. It was the big old balloon raining down. Because no one was in it, it didn't get any attention.
A mysterious fourth balloon carrying no passengers, silently floating over the experimentation stage.
This photograph shows us nothing more. A stray balloon carrying no more. No one and operated by a rogue trader clearly has nothing to do with the case.
It's relevant does elude me, I must say.
The court has been sufficient evidence, heard ample testimony already. The prosecution calls for this trial to be concluded.
Nah.
Really? Have we really got to the truth yet? No, I can't let this opportunity slip away. The jurors' minds are made up and not in our favor. What else can the photograph tell us? What else more can we learn from it?
Objection!
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wait, please don't give your decisions yet. The photograph from Mr. God may well be hiding one more vital clue. What's that?
A vital clue?
We're all well past the point of mere possibilities. It's time for definitives now, so tell the court. What else exactly does the alleged clue in the photograph prove?
Now hold up.
Give me a second. Let's see. One more time. Oh, yes. Where our little crossbow friend's gonna come into play. We can reasonably assume that the picture balloon was destroyed by a searing heat of the explosion. That's right, this is not my fault.
Evidently, because the bird cage from the kinesis machine materialized in the sky where it had been firing. And the balloon being filled with flammable hydrogen instantly exploded.
Objection!
No, that's not what happened.
What?
It would appear that this photograph requires closer examination. Counsel for the defense, you will highlight the location of the alleged clue in this photograph for the court.
Of course, my lord. If you look closely, it's plain enough to see. What's shown is linked to another piece of evidence we have. In a way, it leads to an unbelievable conclusion. Here.
Take that!
The timing of this photograph can only be described as miraculous. If you look, you'll notice there's a bright white line that appears to point directly at the balloon. Most likely a ray of light incidentally caught on the film.
I'm afraid I can see nothing. I can see nothing of the sort.
If you look with the magnifying glass, Lord, it becomes clear what the nature of this bright light really is.
Goodness, what is that? Ah, he's great. He's talking again. The force I wield. Undeniably some flash of light, yes?
Oh, golly, do.
Do you think it might be the lightning?
But it couldn't have been a finer day.
I believe we may be looking at fire.
A bolt of fire heading straight for the balloon, like an arrow!
Indeed, even to my aging eyes, it would appear to be a flame of some sort. My word! Are you such a think this flame struck the hydrogen gas that filled the balloon?
That's absurd. The balloon would have been 60 feet above the ground at the time. No flame could possibly reach such a height.
Actually, it's my opinion, that particular piece of evidence found at the scene reveals exactly how that could have happened.
What evidence?
If such evidence exists, Counsel, then for goodness sake, present it, man! Which evidence explains this mysterious streak of flame that appears to be headed directly for the balloon? Oh wow, you had that handy.
Yep. This was found at the foot of the small oriental tree near the scene.
Good lord! Is that a crossbow?
An arrow dipped in oil and set alight could have been shot from this weapon, sending a flaming arrow straight into the hydrogen-filled balloon.
Are you suggesting that crossbow is used deliberately?
Plenty, you're right! That trickle line in the photo looks like an arrow, doesn't it?
The explosion of the balloon. It was.
Very likely the result of the flaming arrow from this crossbow igniting the hydrogen gas inside it.
No!
Ah!
My heart.
My heart, God.
Order! Counsel, this is an extraordinary supposition.
If the aim was to cause the balloon to explode, the shooter could have used a gun, of course. However, there's an obvious reason why it would have been out of the question.
The noise of the discharge, of course.
That's right. But using a crossbow, the projectile could be fired at the balloon silently.
Well, yeah, if someone shot a gun off the exhibit grounds, it would cause a real panic.
Excuse me, hang on. Hello there, my name is Luigi. There we go. But with the big explosion, there was a very big panic anyway, no?
I don't like this. Should be pleased with plausible explanation from this, but something feels wrong.
Objection!
Do you understand the implications of what you're saying, my Nipponese friend?
If a flaming arrow did indeed hit the balloon, then obviously it would have exploded. And if that birdcage appeared from the cloud of smoke that ensued...
Wait a minute, what you really saying? I don't get it. Was the birdcage that beamed up into the sky after all? Or what?
My goodness me!
Now I understand what that sinking feeling is about. I think there's a good chance that the birdcage was actually concealed in the balloon all along.
What? Did I just hear that correctly, Counsel?
There's no going back now. The horse has bolted. let's assume, as I said, the birdcage was hidden inside the green balloon from the start. On stage, when the experiment started, the birdcage was instantaneously kinesis machine disappeared in a cloud of smoke. At that moment, the flaming arrow was fired from the ground, causing the green balloon to explode and drawing the attention of the spectators to the sky above their heads. Amid the smoke, the hidden birdcage appeared, to fall down and crash into the crystal tower. I think you'll all agree it's entirely plausible that it was described as the truth behind the miraculous experiment carried out that day.
Good grief!
Objection!
This is ludicrous! What you described is no science experiment! It's child's play! A commendable display of stage magic! Both Mr. Sholmes and Iris have stated that the experiment was scientifically impossible, which in this case is the only way to explain what happened that day. In any case, the victim's body was found inside the birdcage in the Crystal Tower. If the instantaneous kinesis didn't take place, how do you explain that?
If I may put it a word, as a man of magic myself, such apparent discrepancies can easily be explained by some simple deception.
Juror number 3!
All that would be needed is a doppelganger, someone who looks very similar to the victim, Mr. Asman,
That's what I was thinking for the very beginning of this, yeah.
and having the other man appear on stage to the front of a show as a body double.
Yes, of course! So, in fact, Mr. Asman had been inside the birdcage that was concealed inside the balloon from the start.
Objection!
That balloon would have been filled with hydrogen. Anything inside of it would have been scattered to the four winds when it exploded. No one would have ever embarked on such a risky adventure.
Not necessarily. The explosive force in the balloon cap was very much there depends upon the mixture ratio.
Just kill the toad right there. Juror number 4!
Flying balloons are really filled with pure hydrogen, but a mixture of other gases such as helium as well. Helium of its own doesn't explode, but by controlling the gas mixture ratio, the explosive force can be altered.
Okay, yes, guys, I know. Juror number 6 has a gun. I've heard you guys like 5 times at this point, I get it. Mixture ratio?
Science!
Exactly, the ratio you willed. Obviously, the victim's body would have suffered some birds. That would be unavoidable. But not to such an extent as she rendered it so obscene as it should be possible.
Bruh.
So everything that happened can be explained logically and scientifically. The explosion that engulfed the stage from the start of the experiment was no accident. That was part of an elaborate deception to make it appear as if instantaneous kinesis had occurred.
Well, goodness me.
And if we accept what happened, it means that the victim, Mr. Osmond, was never present on the public experimentation stage to begin with. In short, he could have been killed by the defendant, who was the one on stage in full view the entire time. Ugh.
The mouse is pointing with him. That's adorable. Look at it.
This would be very hard for the prosecution to counter.
Oh yeah!
Lord Van Zeeks can't credibly maintain that Professor Airbray is the suspect now.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'd appreciate your efforts. Thank you.
Professor?
But you can stop now. Just keep your mouth shut, please.
Sorry?
What's this all about, Mr. Hairbray?
I, Albert Harebrain, hereby confess that it was me who stabbed Mr. Oni Osmond. Yes, it was me with my faithful friend and partner, Andrew the Screwdriver.
What are you doing?
Order! 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 Defendant, explain this sudden confession.
Objection! Professor Harebrain, what are you talking about?
It's what I said all along. I must protect my hypothesis and my precious machine. You stand there and claim it was all a trick, all an elaborate prank, but where's your proof? No, you had to examine the machine if you wanted to prove it, but then it would all be over. My beautiful hypothesis would be laid bare. I mean, the identity of it.
It's clear that you drew plans for the experiment, but you didn't actually build it. It's quite conceivable you were duped, Professor. If you just let me, I could...
Broke!
Yes.
I'll cooperate. I'll do whatever you say. I swear it. So please, ensure the special disposition for scientific equipment and adhere to and protect my creation.
Let me pull one out for ya. Pray forgive the discourtesy of fulfilling the hallowed chalice at this critical juncture. Here's to my lead Nipponese friend.
What?
And his upcoming admit to clarify the defense's position in light of the accused's confession. Do you intend to formally assert that the experiment was nothing more than a conjuring trick? Because the moment you do, the Special Defense for Scientifically Equipment Act that protects the professor's invention will cease to apply. The prosecution will then demand a rigorous examination of the machinery involved in order to establish the truth. However, you acknowledge that the machine is genuine and instrumental to the victim's murder. Any chance of investigating will be crushed, and the confidentiality of the professor's hypothesis preserved.
Well, counsel, what is the defense's official position on this matter?
What the Professor Harebrain, my client, actually asked of me was to prove that the explosion on stage was an accident and protect the secrecy of his hypothesis. But there's no way to do that without implying the Professor's guilt. Do I protect my client's life by asserting the innocence, or uphold my client's request to but see him condemned? Either way, I can't avoid betraying his trust.
You've been silent long enough. Is it talking your trade, my lean friend? Or has all knowledge of English escaped your confused Nipponese mind?
Oh, I think that's the first time this right has come up for him at this point.
Mr. Naruhodo!
There's no escaping here. I have to make a choice. That's an impossible one. I have to give up on something. But what? The defense asserts that the defendant's instantaneous conceived machine was in fact... This might be a forced decision one, but... Ugh! No, can't say it. My client places faith in me. Can't just let him down.
We must not give him a win on. It is not the question that you asked yourself here. It's what can I protect?
Yes!
Hello again, Mr. Naruhodo. It's been far too long.
Yeah, the adventure saved the universe. I'm back now.
Susato-san? But what are you? Ah!
Her new theme is playing.
My first Susato takedown in 6 months.
There'll be time to talk later, Mr. Naruhodo. For now, we must concentrate on the task at hand.
Which is working out on one, not giving up what I can protect. Professor Hairbrain!
Yes?
Yesterday you told me that science is the pursuit of truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth too.
Yes, of course.
And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Mr. Assman. And I think you come to that realization yourself too, haven't you? That your experiment and machine you built on the victims are questionable. The truth behind that is the truth we must both pursue now. Yeet.
My leg?
Got him. So you finally opened your eyes. What? And as for you, Albert, you cannot ignore this any longer. Having heard my learned friend's assertion, don't you have something to say?
Baroque!
More Von Zeeks?
Gosh, I never heard him speak that way before.
In truth, there is one thing, something I've remembered that's of relevance.
What?
On the day it happened, just before I began the experiment, I saw a man near the stage.
Well, by the way, thank you for the raid.
Yeah.
Hello! Hello, people!
Hello.
Anyway, back to the moment.
Yeah.
A man holding that crossbow. I beg your pardon?
Professor! Did the man have any distinguishing features? What did he look like?
Taller than me, and thinner than me, with straight hair, straighter, and whiter than mine. Let me see. One less lens than me, two, a monocle, a rather stylish black monocle. But one thing in particular will help to particularly identify the man, you see. I know him very well. After all, he's the engineer who built my invention.
What? He built the machine?
That's right. Mr. Aspen introduced it to me a year ago. He's a man by the name of Enoch
Enoch
Drebber.
Enoch Drebber. Enoch. I could not say that. I could not say that, Yoda. Does this name mean something, members of the jury? Members of the jury seem flustered. Oh, great. Okay. Not to name any scientist wishes to hear. The man's an abomination. Not to name any conjurer wishes to hear it either.
Who on earth is he?
I'm afraid this isn't the first tale of his nature that I've heard. I heard his scientific circles in connection with that name. There's talks of other flamboyant experiments that turned out to be nothing but stage trickery in the end. Obviously, the rascal is after the government's research grant money. When magicians are in need of money, I have heard of them resorting to these underhanded tactics. Some acquaintances of mine with experience of such things have mentioned Enoch Drebber's name before. The man is both an engineer and a magician. Yes, we're dealing with the unparalleled
Governor Trickster here. That's your beer for you. So it's true then. My invention, my great machine, it was just a grand illusion?
Considering what we just heard about Mr. Drebber's character, it's hard to say it sounds increasingly likely.
Even though no one else believed it, I wanted to. I wanted to believe that machine would function exactly as my hypothesis predicted.
Which is why you were so opposed to it being investigated, I presume.
I knew that if the machine was examined in detail, its construction would give away my hypothesis. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen, but at the same time, I knew that if it was found out to be nothing more than a trick, than a work of deception, then everything I worked towards, all my research, all my dreams, my whole life would be over. I was terrified at that prospect.
So you really had no idea then, did you? About the true nature of the machine that was built, and the true nature of Mr. Drebber.
I never questioned anything. I didn't want to question it.
It's entirely possible that Mr. Asman and Mr. Drebber were working together to use you as a means of fraudulently recurring the research grant money.
When I announced my invention to the crowd that day, it was the finest moment of my career. I pulled all the levers and turned all the dials in exactly the way Drebber had described. When the smoke suddenly started billowing out, I panicked. I didn't know what was happening. But I really don't know how the whole illusion was made to work. I don't know anything anymore.
Let me confirm one final point with you, Professor. Do you now consent to the prosecution submitting the necessary paperwork to release your invention from the protection afforded by the Special Disposition for Scientific Equipment Act?
Yes, please go ahead. I'm very sorry. It would appear that we shall have to suspend proceedings for the remainder of the day now. Lord Van Zeeks.
My lord.
The court has newly been made aware of another party whose involvement in this matter is critical.
Yes, Mr. Drebber.
Gather information about the man. If possible, I should like him served with the
Subpoena?
With the subpoena.
With pleasure, my lord.
Now, counsel for the defense.
Yes, my lord!
When we reconvene, I shall be looking for one thing and one thing alone from you. Evidence that the defendant is innocent of the crime for which he presently stands accused.
I understand.
Good. In that case, this court is adjourned until tomorrow morning.
Any little bits after court today, or we just... Okay, good.
Naruhodo.
Yes?
I'm so sorry. I was wrong. You were right. I tricked you. You trusted me. I dragged you into my mess. Oh, how did it ever come to this? I'm so sorry.
Did you really have no idea, Professor? About what Mr. Drebber was up to, I mean? About how it was really constructing?
Naturally. That machine was the embodiment of my hypothesis, of all my hopes and dreams. I had complete faith in it.
Alright, in that case, I won't say any more. Now, sadly, the murder accusation against you still stands, so we must do as much investigating as we can before the trial resumes tomorrow.
Well, thank you for doing so much for me.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Susato!
How do you like my new clothes?
I like it. It's very nice, Susato. But, like, yeah.
I'm so sorry for arriving late this morning, Mr. Naruhodo.
How do you like my look, huh? Yeah?
Not cute
That's
enough
just
on your
cute.
shoulder.
Yeah, that's just cute.
Arriving late?
Did you receive my postcard? I wanted to let you know when I arrived.
Postcard? What postcard?
I hid it from you, Bruno, so it would be a surprise. Well, did it work?
I was surprised, alright, especially when she threw me to the ground.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I was just so happy to see you again that it sort of slipped out.
Maybe we could stick to a more traditional displays of emotion in the future.
Sissy's train was late on London Victoria this morning, you see. We made the coachman really whip those horses so you wouldn't miss the whole trial. I was watching from the gallery for a while, but in the end, I'm afraid I couldn't contain myself.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't.
Oh?
Having you at my signing court gives me strength I need to win. So, I'm, delighted to see you back in London.
Oh, you're too kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm delighted to be here. I hope I continue to be of service to you.
Of course. So, what brought you back? Did Professor Mikotoba not protest?
Let's save all that for the conversation when we're back home, shall we? You know, I made one of those most special blends ever with this special occasion. Oh, Iris, how wonderful! I can't wait.
Sasan was back in London. It's hard to describe how happy it made me feel at the time, but despite my elation, our tale was about to take yet another extraordinary turn. Alrighty!
You shall get your expedition done next week.
Yeah.
Now you're halfway done with case 3.
Well, halfway done, but we got 3 more sessions of this case to go, according to you.
Yeah, but at the story point of this case, you're at the halfway point. You did your investigation. You did your first investigation in the first trial.
Yeah. Okay, I just head back to the Dallas Creator real fast.
We shall see the socks Susato next time.
Yeah, next time. Alright.
So what do you think so far?
I really like where this case is going so far. I did predict I was kind of assuming the 2 different people thing from the beginning, if, like, you know, the beam couldn't happen. Sort of deal. I do like that Hairspray didn't have any idea about it. Kind of deal. I was getting duped, so now I'm really curious on where the rest of this deal went awry at that point.
I would believe the whole teleportation trick might be somewhat more acceptable in this time period, since science is still relatively new and whatnot.
Yeah. Also, very glad to see Susato back in London now. I was kind of worried she was only gonna show up, like, in case 4, like 4 and 5 kind of deal. I'm happy she's back for case 3 now, so.
I've returned, and I have a new theme.
Yep.
Yay!
Also, what you call it? I did find it interesting that Naruhodo had to basically do the first part of this case all by himself, kind of deal. Which I think really shows of how far he's come at this point. So.
Yeah, you're essentially seeing Naruhodo after case 5, and it really does show. Like, this man knows how to handle the defense line on his own. Good boy.
Yeah.
He has 6 months of studying under his belt.
Yeah, so you used it all right. But yeah, I am curious where the rest of this is going to go at this point. I think we're gonna keep the costumes on for at least case 3. I don't know after that kind of deal. I mean, I do really like the Iris ones for Naruhodo and Susato.
I think we can keep it for next session, but I think we should take them off
when we get back to trial. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can do. Kind of fave. I am really glad that they do have the costumes in here for this collection. It's really nice. But
yeah.
So how next week is going to work? There won't be a sub night on Saturday. We are going to be doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for streams next week, because this is a big one for this case. So yeah. But I believe that should be about done for us. So yeah. Thank you again for the raid earlier, and have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye!